I'm going to wear sunglasses like a douchebag for this episode. Why? Because I just bought them. So I want to wear them. Get off my dick. So LeBron just got eliminated from the first round of the playoffs. For the first time in his career, actually, he holds a record of 14-1 in the first round. Now, what does that go to show? Age is becoming an X factor in this man's career. He's simply getting too old, and we have to give it up to him. He's sustained greatness for so long. His middle name should be longevity. But, like I said, he's just getting a bit too old now. Even though he might be at the prime of his ability mentally and in terms of understanding the game. And I quote him from the end of last year's finals when he won his fourth championship. He said,
So I think if you line 35-year-old LeBron up with 27-year-old LeBron, he'll dominate him. Just from a mental side.
35-year-old LeBron would destroy 28-year-old LeBron. Now, what does that mean? That means as your career goes on and as time goes on in sport, you improve in terms of ability, understanding the game, experience, IQ. All of these things improve. Mentally, you get better because sport is just as mental as it is physical. You could be at the end of your career and at the peak mentally, but unfortunately it's obviously the physical which lets you down, because as time goes on you get better mentally, but as time goes on physically you get worse. And that's obviously the crossroads that LeBron is at right now. But I just want to take that example to say that we need to be playing the long game. Fellas, we need to be playing the long game. Because let's just take the mental aspect of sport. Goes to show, as time goes on, we actually get better. We acquire more skills. We understand the game and the world more. And we live in a society now where everything is right now, fast, instant, get quick rich, get ripped quick, 6-pack in 6 minutes, baby. But that's not realistic. We need to be playing the long game because we're only going to acquire these life-changing skills, these life-changing ideas and foundations through a lot of work, and that work is going to take time. This is especially for guys, because let's look at mating in the world of humans. Men are especially more suited to play the long game. Why? Women from, let's say, 18 to mid-20s, that's where they're in their sexual prime. They are the most desired at that point as mates. An 18-year-old girl could be, in her prime, like I said, and she could be scooping up 30-year-old millionaires or making X amount of millions on OnlyFans. But an 18-year-old guy on the sexual market, he's not going to have any success unless he's like already ripped and got a lot of money. No, the average 18-year-old guy or any young guy in that 18, mid-early 20s region, he's going to have no sexual clout. No girls want to fuck with him. That's why you notice girls actually always go for older guys, because men are suited to play the long game. Women go for older guys because it takes more time for men to acquire what's actually desirable for women. That's resources, skills, knowledge, money, all of these things, wisdom. It takes time to acquire these things. So don't rush. Play the long game, fellas. Be strategic. Doesn't Gary Vee always preach this stuff? Patience. You gotta be patient. That was a terrible Gary Vee impression. I'm decent at some impressions, but not at Gary Vee. I can never hit the New York thing. He's a New York guy. Might have got it wrong. New Jersey, something like that. But patience. Gary Vee preaches it, and I'm not in a position where I can preach it yet. Like where I've seen the fruits that patience has to offer, and I'm like, wow, now being thankful for my patience. No, I'm kind of in it right now. I'm trying to be patient. But he always preaches patience, and I believe he's 100% right. And if you want to find the perfect example of patience in the universe, just look at nature. I was sitting with my friend and we were just chopping it up by the river that runs through my city. And I'm looking at that water and I just realized how amazing water is. Water, look at any body of water, whether it be a river, a sea, an ocean, a lake, you can see that water is perfectly in sync with its own nature. It's never early, it's never rushing, it's never late. It's always on time, always in the moment, perfectly harmonious and in sync. And you might be thinking, what are you talking about? I mean, what about like waves and tsunamis? And that's not in sync. But that's simply the way you're perceiving it. See, we look at the world through a filter, kind of like these shades I'm wearing right now, and we perceive something to be a certain way, even though it might not actually be that way. And we might think water can be destructive and bad, but all these labels are, like I said, simply human inventions. And I'm telling you, look at a body of water. Every single square inch is perfectly in unison, and you can just see water is in no rush. And we need to be the same way. We need to actually admire and try to mimic nature sometimes, because nature can sometimes give us a better indication of how to be more human. Could you believe it? Insane, right? 100% we need to be more patient. Let me just pull up a list here of people who became millionaires later in life. Stan Lee, the Marvel genius, became a millionaire at 39. Donald Fisher, the man who invented Gap, became a millionaire at 40 years old. Simon Cowell didn't become a millionaire till 42 years old. Samuel L. Jackson, 43. Barack Obama, 43. Sam Walton, the man who created Walmart, 44. Henry Ford, the man who pioneered the assembly line, 45 years old. Charles Darwin, 50 years old. Ray Kroc, the man who essentially invented McDonald's, right? 52 years old. The list, Susan Boyle, perfect, 48. The list goes, oh my God, Harland Sanders, as in Colonel Sanders from KFC, 73. What does that go to show? Be damn patient. I was watching YouTube the other day and these two elderly rappers popping off in the UK. Elderly, these guys must be like 60 or 70 at this point, and only now they are well-known rappers. You might have a dream and you might want it now, but realize the long game, you are suited for it. So be patient, work hard, don't cut corners, work smart too, and man, a lot of good things are waiting for you, but Jesus, chill out, be patient. Play the long game.
Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend.